everybody, welcome to Kate Space. Welcome if you're new. I'm just doing some flip throughs at the moment because I've got an Etsy shop restock tomorrow. So I've got 3 little fabric covered journals that I'm going to pop in my shop. These won't be available before they're listed. They're definitely going into my shop tomorrow at 6 p.m. So 1st of September, 6 p.m, these 3 journals. But I'm going to do 3 separate videos because I think that's easier for if someone sees them on Etsy and wants to have a flip through. Right, so they have these hand stitch sort of collage fabric covers which are stitched and collaged onto a beautiful cotton based quilting batting. They're tied with this beautiful vintage fabric which was gifted to me from Lynn. So here's the covers. There's 5 signatures stitched in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and they have these mother of pearl buttons on the back. And so there's various hand stitching, there's various fabrics. Most of these would be vintage, I'd say. Maybe not this one. And these vintage yo-yos, which I've had for a while and I've been hoarding, but yeah, they're on there. So this is the vintage yo-yo journal. If we open it up, we have a handmade collage journaling card which is stitched around. There's fabric on the inside, and this is the lace that goes through the spine and maker's pocket. We have a doily at the front. We have a Graphics Fairy digital and this little card. Here we have a little pink avocado dyed doily, a little note paper, some handmade paper and embossed, and some vintage tickets. This is avocado dyed paper, and this is part of a little old handkerchief with some little stenciling down here. This is a very old French book page. It's quite a thin, delicate paper. Some coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. This is a New Zealand piece of ephemera that I've used one of my new stamps on, and I love how that looks. A piece of 1940s ephemera and an old photo, and this old photo is Willis Street in Wellington in the 30s-ish. This is an old envelope which I've decorated, and it's a little pocket here, and there's just a little really simple tag with some 1906 ledger. Lots of room for writing as always in my journals. This is a piece of copied ephemera that I have, and it's an old French an old French telegram, and inside that I've popped a little copy of an old photo that I own. There's some grey crinkled seam binding around that. Some stenciling. This is not vintage, it's just some really cute sort of note paper. Vintage music and a ruffle. Avocado dyed paper. Actually no, I think that might be pink copy paper that's been tea dyed. Some old sort of letter writing paper, 1909 ledger with no writing on it, and one of my little snippets with a vintage wallpaper little tiny tag. A napkin decoupage on there, some tulips, that old birthday book that I've got that's nearly run out, a wax seal, one of the sample slides that's been I've embossed and put a picture in, and a little snippet, a embossed frame, and a piece of old music paper here. And tucked inside here is another one of the sample slides that hasn't been folded or anything put in it. That is avocado dyed paper. A beautiful lace pocket with a collage tag backed onto some lovely cardstock. This is some washi tape. This is Bloom tape by Amity Bloom. Some more stenciling. Oh, this has got some beads in the middle, so these are glass beads. Another collage journaling card with a wax seal, and this is Tim Holtz wallpaper snippet or something, I'm not sure what they're called. Tea dyed paper. There's another little tuck spot here. This is old vintage wallpaper. Vintage book page. Some hand sewn sari ribbon and stenciling. This is music manuscript paper, and here is a file folder made with some digital that's printed onto some card. More of the ledger and another of the sample slides which can be used, and one of my vintage playing cards which I love. Some braille paper. More napkin decoupage in the center of the signature. This folds out. Another wax seal. Vintage cigarette card. This is actually one of those silk ones. It's like fabric. It's beautiful. And a piece of book page out of that birthday book. Some little ribbon. Here's a little envelope that I've made out of some Tim Holtz wallpaper, and there's some various things in here. There's some tickets, some rusty bits, and some of those little old, really old, tiny jewelry tags. So they're in there. Sweep that out. This has been strengthened with some washi tape. A very old 1919 piece of New Zealand ephemera with a tiny little bit of texture paste just up there, texture stenciling. Another pocket with another tag and a big sort of sewn snippet, one of the ones I made for the 100-day project, which was a 90-day project for me. A flip out, so that's the other part of that 1956 envelope that I've decorated. There's a little tuck spot here that doesn't have anything in it. This folds out. There's a tuck here which has not been glued, so it can be torn off if necessary if you don't want it. Some lined paper, and this can be tucked in as well, so there's some room to be tucked. So that is the little hand sewn, let's say, vintage doily fabric journal. Now, size wise, it is about 16 by about 11 with a 3 centimeter spine, about an inch or so. Yep, so that's that one. Hope you like it, and yeah, that will be in my Etsy store at 6 PM on the 1st of September, New Zealand time. Thanks so much. Bye.